good. How are you?
Great.
I'm good. Biggest celebrity in history of the show.
Yes. No pressure at all.
No
pressure, Laura. No pressure.
Right.
Well, thanks for joining us
Thank you very
tonight.
much. No,
Yeah,
I'm excited. I can't wait to get to the show.
It's going to be amazing. So, we had a ton of questions. We had to drill down to a few, but the number one thing that popped in my head, and I know you've answered this before, is like how versatile you are. You've done everything from children to sci-fi to horror to action to romance. Is that one of your proudest professional accomplishments, that you're able to touch on everything?
Yeah, I mean, thank you. I feel like there's so much more I still want to do, and I haven't done everything. I still want to do a Western. I'd love to do a romantic comedy. So I still have a bunch I'd like to do, but I am grateful that I've been able to cross a bunch of genres and sci-fi and horror. Starting out as a 12-year-old in this industry, I've had some time to try different parts of it. And I want to keep going. I just directed for the first time and wrote, and I'm producing. I just wrote a children's book that I'll bring to the show if anyone's interested. It's called Super Duper Delia.
Yes.
It's about a girl that's a superhero. So I'm just trying to do as much as I can while I'm still on the planet. No pun intended.
There we go. Is one of the benefits about having a lengthy resume is that you get to be selective in what you choose now? Because I watched that new movie, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I'm thinking those actors just took whatever they can get at that time, right? Because that was pretty.
Yeah, I haven't seen one good review on that
right.
one yet.
But I would think as your resume builds, you really get to be selective on what's important to you and your brand.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really depends on the year. Some years that's definitely the case. Like you can be more selective, and some years, you just need to work, and the opportunities you really want aren't there, and you just want to get back on set. I mean, during COVID, it was a tough time, especially in 2020 for our industry, for everybody, obviously, but it just really slowed down for me, and that's when I realized I needed a creative outlet, and I wanted to direct and write. So it's nice that I had enough of a resume that people were willing to be a part of a film I wanted to create myself. That came in handy. But honestly, every year is different. I'm grateful for every opportunity. I sound so Canadian. I'm just happy to be here.
Right. And, you're showcasing your book, Laura, Super Duper Delia. Now, growing up, you were the tomboy of the crew. You weren't wearing the pink dresses. You weren't playing, house. What were you doing, and what inspired you to bring that book to life for your mini fans who follow you?
My mini fans. Yeah. So I was very much a tomboy. I did not like anything girly. I have an older sister, so I was essentially my dad's son. And I took that on proudly. I was in martial arts, just super athletic and always outside. And then when I was cast as Supergirl, I would at conventions meet parents who watched it with their younger children, and especially the young girls. I was concerned they were watching the way that I was dressed on that show back in the day. The CW kind of like to show some skin. So I didn't want to be the female superhero that they thought was normal, because even what I looked like wasn't what I looked like. So it started back then. That was over 10 years ago. And I wrote this book quite a while ago, and I wanted her to be for young boys and girls to just be proud of who they are, their quirkiness. So Delia, our main character in the book, a lot of me is in her. She, makes her own costumes and wants to fight the bad guys and does well in school. And I just wanted her to be relatable to a younger audience than Smallville. I mean, since then, we have a bunch of female characters and superheroes that young boys and girls can look up to that I think are a better role model just visually. But I was waiting with this book for so long. I just decided to self-publish on Amazon. So I just released it because it just felt like it was time, and I'm looking now into publishers and hoping to continue the series.
And it's not only in book; it's you turn it into a mini series on TV for a little while. Was it a half-hour show at one point?
No, so it's had a bit of a journey. It was going to be a live action series. Before that, it was going to be an animated series. And we cast the young girl, and it just fell through at the production company, who had too many other projects on the go. So I was waiting for the option to lapse to get it back, and now I'm kind of trying to pick it up again.
When we had Daniel Cudmore on the show, I drove him nuts because I'm a Hallmark movie fiend. And trust me, I've heard it all my life from my friends. They've said all types of things to me, as you can imagine. But he told me that the production with the Hallmark movies, they're able to, produce Christmas time, you get 40 new movies. He goes, it's insane.
They can shoot them all in one week.
He's back. He's at his trailer. He's memorizing 8 pages. He's back to his trailer, another 8 pages. Playing Cupid at Christmas together with you. Seen them both, by the way, kids. playing Cupid's my favorite of the two. But did you find working on the Hallmark movies different than working on any other set that you've been part of?
Different how?
The pacing.
The pacing, yeah, for sure. When you're on a series like when I did V Wars or V or Bitten or Smallville, it's like it's a slower pace on dramas like that. You do quite a number of pages in a day, but on like a Hallmark, it's pretty fast paced. Even the actual pace on camera is faster. So you are going through maybe 3 times the amount of pages in a day that you would on like a drama or a superhero sci-fi show. It's just it's the nature of the beast. They can make those very quickly. It's procedural. They know what they're doing. You often, with those films, get 1 or 2 takes, 2 if you're lucky, because it's not like you need to get into. I love doing Hallmark movies, but it's not like you need to get into an emotional headspace where you need 20 minutes to get ready to kill your child. And I've done like Jigsaw and things like that where you take the time. But no, they're a lot of fun. You often get to see friends. They shoot in Canada typically. They're quick. The crew is fun. It's just very lighthearted. I obviously, I think most actors laugh a lot more doing those movies than when you're on a very heavy drama set.
There we go. All right, I got my one. I had to ask. I'm sorry, Jason, because
I'm a big fan of the Hallmark.
I just, it's a serious world, and when you see something that's simple and kind and nice and has a good message, to me, it carries a lot of weight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I will say, playing Cupid was one of my favorites.
There we go. We're in line.
There you go.
It's good. You got to watch it. Well, let's chat Timmins Con, because that's why we're here, right, Jason?
Yeah, exactly. So April 15th, 16th, the one and only Laura Vandervoort will be appearing, signing autographs, doing photo ops. She'll do a Q&A with us as well too.
Okay.
I'm sure she's going to be answering a lot of questions while she's doing her autograph sessions. We've got the Family Feud, Timmins Con Family Feud going on as well too, which should be
that'll be a lot of fun.
Laura does not have to participate in the Timmins
maybe
Con
she
Family
does. Maybe
Feud.
she wants to play Canadian.
She may be the bouncer to separate the teams as they're fighting it out, possibly.
I got the muscle.
There you go. There you go. So, no, it's gonna be a fantastic weekend. We're really excited to welcome Laura to Timmins and welcome everyone back to a full-fledged Comic-Con, which is fantastic.
Again, when you say full-fledged, for the first time in its existence, you're using both sides, the curling side and the entire McIntyre Arena. Filled to the brim, and of course, Optimus Prime going to be parked out front. Bumblebee, it's going to be jam-packed.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be jam-packed. So much so we have to rent a tent to put Bumblebee and Optimus outside. So it's going to be quite the weekend.
Is it when you go to conventions such as this, Laura? What are some of the common things that people want to chat about? I assume Supergirl is absolutely one.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that comes on the top list?
Yeah, Smallville is definitely one, sometimes two, depending on the audience. Bitten is up there for sure. and lately a lot of people have been, especially since 2020, I was doing these paintings on Instagram out of just creative frustration. So a lot of people have been asking about the paintings and if they can buy them.
Are you bringing them with you?
What's that?
Are you bringing your paintings with you?
No, I'm not. I don't even know where some of them are anymore. But yeah, it's typically those are the top two, and some Jigsaw fans for sure.
Yeah.
And people wanting to reminisce about Smallville and what I'm working on currently. So it's always, and then there's occasionally the Goosebumps fans from like back in the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always nice.
The diehard fans, and those are the ones that keep you grounded because you're still putting smiles on their faces just by them seeing you. So it's nice to see your fans face to face.
Yeah, and I try not to remember what my acting was like back on Goosebumps when you bring it up. That definitely grounds me.
And then there's me. Tell me about the lighting on the Hallmark set. Like, I know I got to tone that down a little bit. A little bit to it, but I think it's amazing. And I know that the Timmins Northern Ontario Expo always look for people that obviously they're going to draw an audience, but are going to be very good with our community. And that's really important. It's a small Northern Ontario community. People are really friendly. We don't get these opportunities too often. So that speaks very highly of your character, that they went forward, because that's the number one thing you look for when bringing people aboard.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Because, you know, and I've said it, I don't know how many times, Timmins is very geographically challenged. It's a very term that I use quite often. So we tend to do our homework when it comes to, you know, to booking our celebrity for our event. And we've had Laura's name on our radar for quite a few years. We've just never had the opportunity to pursue it until this year with the with COVID. Like Laura said earlier, it really basically slowed everyone down for 2+ years. So the fact that we were able to put an offer into Laura, and she was very gracious to accept our offer, which again, we thank you for that. It just, you know, it brought a smile to everyone's face. So
no, I'm excited. And the fact that it's part of it's in a curling rink, that's very Canadian of us.
Yeah, that's right.
It makes it so much more special.
Yeah, you won't have to yell "hurry hard" or nothing, so you'll be okay. Don't worry about it.
I do want to try to learn to play at some point.
Make it add one sheet of ice right by the
that
booth
could
there.
be tough.
That's right. But yeah, it's important. I assume it's very important to you to, you know, still, you know, connect with your Canadian roots.
It's very important. I've been away. I lived in the US for 11 years. Now I'm back and forth. I'm spending more time here, and it's just nice to reconnect with people I meet on the street. Like if I'm on Queen Street, just the Canadian fans that have been following along in my career for so long. I mean, I've been doing it for 22 years, but for the Americans in their mind, it hasn't been that long because they haven't seen the Canadian things I did. But the Canadian fans have been there for the long haul. So it's extremely important to me to keep up with them and communicate with them on social media, all the fans in general. But it's extra special when I find out someone's Canadian. So
yeah. Well, there we go.
Cool.
It's an amazing yeah. Well, yeah, you're going to hear a lot of A's. Well, it is a big privilege for us. The fact that you came on and chatted with us tonight, and especially where see you in person here at Timmins Con, it's going to be a big deal, and you're making it their biggest event ever.
The biggest event ever, Laura.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. Just show up and smile, and you'll be fine.
That's right.
Listen to me. I'm telling her how to do her job.
And they stuck me in a Batgirl costume for Halloween. I promise I won't show up with that.
Well,
well, if he does, we'll have to bring you by Laura's booth there.
Well, no, you have to dress up as Supergirl. That's what you have to do.
Okay, that's right.
We have a Supergirl suit.
Oh no,
for you. So
just the same size as Klomp.
Oh, just okay. Oh, wonderful. That'll be the second biggest attraction then.
That might deter people.
It'd be the first.
Yeah, it would be the first. All right. Well, we appreciate you so much.
Yeah,
looking forward to seeing you in a few weeks.
Yeah, I can't wait. Looking forward to it, everyone. And come to that. We're doing a Q&A as well, right? You said.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Right. So please come with your questions. I love Q&As and I love to get to know you guys. So if you have anything about yourself personally you want to share and how you're connected to my work or just the convention in general, I always want to hear everyone's personal stories because I'm a Virgo and I'm nosy.
Awesome stuff,
There
Laura.
we go.
And again, when you come up here, all the superstars that have come before you to previous Timmins cons, they say, no word of a lie, they get more traffic and more engagement than, let's say, Timmins cons or the cons in Toronto, Vancouver.
Yeah.
You know, Timmins really takes this seriously, and you're gonna probably find that when you're here April 15th and 16th.
Can't wait.
All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you guys. I'll see you soon.
So it's my pleasure today to introduce a pretty awesome gentleman, actually a real awesome gentleman in our community. We've met many times. This is Tyler. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Jamie.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm really happy today that you came on once again because you've been on our show before, right?
Yeah.
And to chat about your story.
Yeah.
Besides the fact you're a Leaf fan, I'm a Sens fan. I think you're a pretty amazing dude, Tyler.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your story and when it comes to epilepsy.
Well, with my story, when I was can I tell you when I say when I was diagnosed?
Yeah,
with it?
of course.
Around 14 or 15, I got diagnosed with seizures and they were very, very bad, very bad, and ever since that they've been controlled. But I had a recent one recently, 2 weeks ago, but it was bad. It was a bad one, but other than that, it's. I mean, I'm used to living with epilepsy now, but I still wish I didn't have them.
Well, yeah, of course, and it is a very scary thing.
Yeah, it is.
And especially scary when it first happens because you don't know why your body's reacting.
Yeah, exactly.
A certain way. But the really awesome thing, and this is what I love about you, Tyler, many things. One, you're such a positive person.
Yes, I am.
Like you're super positive. I really respect that. And the number two, you don't, like you said, you wish you didn't live with epilepsy and have seizures, but you have all these awesome supports in the community.
Yes, I do, exactly.
And tell us a little bit about these supports and how amazing they are.
I'm like, what do you mean the supports?
Like the Brazier brain.
Oh, that's helping me a lot.
Yeah.
That's helping me a lot because it gets me out in the community, meeting new people.
Yeah. And
socializing, and I like that.
That's right, and you get to do some pretty awesome activities.
Yes, I do.
Yep. And you're just down the road from us.
Yes, well, I'm not far.
Yeah, you're not too far.
No, exactly.
That's right. So what things do you like to do?
Besides being in the seizure brain, I like camping in the summer. I like going to four-wheeler ride, and I like to spend time with family and stuff like that.
I know the camping in the four-wheeler. I haven't been on a four-wheeler in a long time. Maybe you'll have to take me for a ride sometime and show me how it goes.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that's right. How many? We're speaking of the seizure and brain injury center. There's a lot of amazing people that are there.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's helped me very, very much and made me more independent, more socialized, getting out. It made me more better and stronger.
Yeah. I really love that. You can learn a lot, and you have fun, and you get to meet people in the community.
Yeah.
A lot of people that are,
it's like I met you and Mark.
You met me and Mark there, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Now, who's funnier, me or Mark? Who do you think?
Yeah, so you.
You're all right. This is why we get along so much, Tyler.
Yeah. But I do like Mark. I do like him.
Mark is an awesome guy,
Yeah,
but we can't give him too many compliments.
No,
His head's going to go like this, eh?
Yeah,
that's right.
True.
We really, I really appreciate you coming on and, talking about the services and what you've had to go through in your own life. I think you're a brave young gentleman.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't worry as much as having a seizure as I did before. Now I'm easy going. If I have one, I have one. If I don't, I don't.
Yeah, that's right. But I think you're a role model to people in other like similar circumstances.
Yes, I am.
Because it is very scary.
Oh, it is.
And especially what you don't know. But I guess I would assume part of working with the Seizure and Brain Injury Center and learning and having those supports has really helped you.
Yes, it has helped me a lot, very much, and even my mom has epilepsy too.
Okay.
So it's in the family.
It is in your family.
Yeah, it is in our family, but we're both on medication, and it seems to be working.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. And you and your mom can be supports for each other also.
Yeah, and it makes me happy because I get to tell my story and get it out there.
Yeah, and you're really good at telling. I love how you can tell your own story
Oh,
because
yeah.
that's not easy for everyone
No,
to be able to do that.
Well, because I did it before, I'm used to it with you guys. I did.
You're getting used to it.
Yeah, I'm
But
getting used to it.
do you know, like, the fact that you're out telling your own story makes more people feel comfortable telling their stories, and the more we talk, the better it's going to be.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's what I like. I like talking and getting it out there.
You're an amazing guy.
And you know what? I'm not the only one that suffers with it. There's a lot of people in the world that have seizures.
Yeah, it does affect a lot of people.
Yes, it
A
does.
lot of our family and friends. And I think you're playing a really big role in helping build awareness because today is Epilepsy Awareness Day.
Yes.
And you play a big role in building that awareness.
Yes.
Because a lot of people may not know what it is
No.
or how it affects individuals and families and friends.
And yeah, and it's true. They just they don't know the experience about what I'm having, what
That's
I
right.
had.
So if I was to witness someone having a seizure, what can I do to help them?
Well, what you can do is you can make sure they're lay them down, make sure they're laying down and just let them have it. But if they need help, just help them stay there and make sure they come out of it.
Okay.
And if they don't, then if they need more medical help, ambulance, call the hospital.
Call 911.
Call 911.
Call emergency services. But the biggest thing is just to make sure
They're
that they're safe.
they're safe and they're okay.
Yeah. That's
And
good.
make sure that they come out of it. Because I come out of it, but it takes me a little bit of time to come out of it. And half the time I don't know that I'm having one.
Okay, right.
Because I tell my parents I didn't have one, and they say, yes, you did, Tyler, have one. And I keep saying, no, I don't. So I know I didn't, because I'm out of it.
You have it, and then it takes you a little while to
Yeah,
recuperate.
but it does. It takes me at least 2-3 days to recuperate.
Oh, wow, it does, yeah.
Because it takes a lot out of me, and I get super tired after that.
I bet.
So what I do is I get my rest, and I get stronger and stronger.
That's well, and then you're able to build up the strength to come forward and work with the team over there and have some fun in the community.
Yeah.
And stay positive. Tyler, if you've ever met Tyler, and if you haven't, you're meeting him now, always smiling with a positive. There should be more Tylers in this world. I would say we need to duplicate you over and over, my friend.
I always tell Seizure and Brain, you guys can never replace me.
You can never replace Tyler.
No.
You got such a positive attitude, and everyone can learn from that. So.
And I'm very happy. I'm learning a lot of new people like you and Mark and everyone that I'm talking to. I'm meeting them, and it doesn't take me long to meet new people and adjust.
Well, you're very sociable. Yeah,
I am very sociable.
Very easy to talk to.
I mean, I was shy the first time when I met you guys, but I wasn't that bad.
I thought you were really good, actually.
I was good,
Yeah,
actually.
you should come and work with us. You like being on the camera all the time?
Once in a while, yeah.
Well, once in a while is enough.
Once in a while, I'd be on the. And you're a funny guy, Jamie. I'm gonna be honest. That's it. I'm giving you a compliment. You're
Thank
a
you.
funny guy.
I appreciate that, Tyler. You're a good man. Well, I thank you so much for coming on and telling your story. You're welcome back here anytime.
Okay.
And for helping build more awareness for epilepsy
And can I just say
awareness
one
Day.
more thing in the
You
camera
can
before
say
I go?
you can say as much as you want.
Whoever has epilepsy out there, just be positive, be strong, and just think positive, and just don't let it put you down. Stay strong and happy like I am.
Amazing words. You said it all, my friend.
Yeah. So that is my story. So everyone, I hope you enjoy your day.
Thank you, Tyler.
But I mean, they're sending 4 teams down here. You know, so it's
It's going to
incredible.
be packed.
Yeah, well, first some Thunder Bay love, which is my hometown.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
There you go.
And we do get we do get confused geographically, so it's
Well,
a
you
fair
think
assumption.
you're east because Winnipeg to you guys is, you know, so you're east,
Yeah.
but that's not quite
Isn't
correct.
the
You guys are
same
northwest.
scenario just with isn't Porcupine and South Porcupine isn't technically
Not
South
quite south
Porcupine?
of, yeah, that's right, that's
No.
right.
East
Again,
Porcupine.
geography and
Yeah.
geographically challenged.
You
There you
stumbled
go.
on the
That's,
same word. I
that's
mean,
too much
but
adulting for my
this
thing.
this is really
Yeah.
exciting. You know, all these teams come into our community, plus a lot of local representation.
Yep.
Let's talk. I want to talk about before we get into the real fun stuff like the action and these amazing athletes. This is a huge economic boost to our community.
Well, it is. You know, I don't know what the formula is for trying to figure out economic impact, but with 35 teams coming in from out of town, call it 15 or so players per team. Add coaches. You're looking at 750 people there. But that, never mind the parents and the grandparents and the cousins and the aunts and the uncles. We got a lot of folks
lot
coming
of
into
people
town
coming,
to participate in this tournament, and I mean, they've all been here before. They know what to expect in April. Can be anything from a blizzard to Bermuda shorts, but we play in Ringette. I can
Packed for
tell
all
you
seasons.
Yeah.
You might go through all of them in one
this
day.
weekend. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
But here they are. They're staying in our hotels. They're shopping at our stores.
Eating
they're
at our
eating
restaurants.
You
Yep.
took the words out of my mouth.
I
Vincent.
took them out of your mouth.
And that's the amazing, like the economic benefit that these tournaments have is huge.
It is. Sport tourism, I believe, is still one of the pillars of the city's master plan for culture, recreation, and tourism, and it is big. And whatever our organization or any other organization in town can do to bolster that plan, do it, because it's well worth it.
Sure is.
You had mentioned before we went live that we've hosted multiple tournaments, and
Yes.
and this tournament on different occasions.
Yes.
I'm going to assume it's because Timmins does it right, and it's one of the ringette hubs. It must be.
It is. I'm a little hesitant to blow our own horn,
blow
but
it, blow it,
toot
Dave.
your
but
own
you know
horn.
what?
Come on.
The simple fact of the matter is we've been doing this for a long time. We've been doing it well for a long time. We've hosted 40, 50, 60 team tournaments since I've been involved with Ringette, which is a couple of years. And we've done it year after year after year, and teams keep coming back and keep coming back. So we're doing something right. And this particular tournament is Northeast Region Championships. We call them the regionals. And our Northeast Region consists of Sault Ste. Marie, Sudbury, North Bay, and Timmins.
Okay.
It's kind of the geographic territory of our region. And so within that region, there's a whole bunch of smaller, single city municipal or single city associations: Walden, Sudbury, West Ferris, Sault Ste. Marie, Timmins, Iroquois Falls. So those folks know each other well. And it has seemed that whenever the regionals have been in a little bit of jeopardy or whatever, they come to us and ask us to host.
Right.
And we do it,
This is what you're doing.
and we get it back in line, and away we go.
You're rolling out the red
And
carpet for all these teams
red
and families, players.
We
coming
are.
in.
Are you gonna be dressed all in red on
I'm
the
gonna
red
be wearing
carpet?
red
You're gonna
on
be
the
like,
red carpet.
Where's Waldo? Where's
Right.
Kinsman? We won't be able to find you. You
Exactly.
look good, pal. But here's this is my first time that I got invited to the regionals, Kinsman.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for that. But my assumption is this, and it's based off what I seen at the curling championships, and the feedback was consistent. How hospitable, is that the right word?
Hospitable.
The Timmins community is, especially to the visiting families.
Absolutely.
And we heard that over and over. And I got to think the fact that when people say you do it well, that's a big factor that they're commenting.
It is, and it's not just the Timmins Ringhead Association that does it well.
Yeah.
This municipality does it
Yeah.
well. It's that simple.
Yeah, you know, you're absolutely right.
Can't
so,
beat it with a stick.
yeah, you know, in a day and age where we can get down about a lot of things in our community, I'm going to say one thing here, Kinsman.
What's that?
This community knows how to host events.
Yeah, we
And,
sure do.
Because
We saw it with the curling
well,
championship.
right. And it's not easy to host an event. I mean, it's a lot of fun, but there's a lot of time that goes into it, and there's a cost, and there's a big committee. So I assume you're working with an army of volunteers that help put this together.
There is a small army of volunteers. I mean, there's obviously the half dozen or so generals, but there's definitely an army of volunteers. And you said it. I mean, it is everything to welcoming the teams, making sure they got what they need, and if something went south in their transportation and they lost gear, or rustling up gear for them.
Yeah.
I mean, we've run into that before, where a team has lost their goalie pads. Okay, so we'll find a pair of goalie pads for them. Stuff like that. Problems with their accommodations. We reserve blocks of rooms at I think 3 or 4 of the hotels locally, and we'll make sure that they get treated well and treated right. And if there's any kind of an issue, we advocate on behalf of our participants. And that brings people back.
It does. Yeah, it does. It carries a lot of weight the way you treat people. So let's talk a little bit about the dynamic of the tournament. So we're starting Friday morning?
We are. I think the first game, I believe, is at 8 o'clock on Friday morning.
Okay.
And we have, we have players literally from 5 years old to probably in their 40s. So we have, we have the Fun 2 division, which is Fundamental 2. That's what would generally used to be known as the U8 division, so 6 and 7 year old players. And then there's the U10 division, or Fun 3. We have 2 different U12 divisions. One is U12A, which are the competitive teams that play at provincials and that kind of thing, and then the U12B, which is the house league. This is primarily a house league tournament.
Okay.
All of the associations in Northeastern Ontario are primarily house league. Our focus is house league. The competitive teams that are playing A or AA are strictly a byproduct of the house league. And so for this tournament, because of the way the rules are, you can't have A players playing on house league teams in a house league tournament.
Right.
So with some of our divisions and our registration relatively low in some of those divisions, you have the competitive team, and you have 4 or 5 players that aren't on the competitive team, but you can't make a team for that age group with 4 or 5 players. So one of the generals that we have, our registrar, and our kudos go out to Steph. She did a tremendous job. She went looking for and found a home for all of those players who weren't able to play for a Timmins team. They're still playing in the regionals, but they're playing on one of the other teams.
Right.
Well, that's a pretty
Because,
cool.
it is. Because that other association, they wouldn't have been able to send a team either, because their players were.
So it benefits everybody.
It does. And it makes sure that every single player that wants to play in this tournament
Is playing.
can.
Great.
Hey,
Hey,
there we are.
We're doing great.
We
How are you?
We are amazing.
We're amazing. Yes.
Some of us are blending into the red more than others, but we're on a roll here.
We
No
are.
stumbles yet in 30 seconds, and that's pretty good for us, Janelle. I'm telling you right now.
Well, I'm excited to be on the KINZ and KLOMP or Timmins. Hello, Timmins. Hello, everybody. Hey.
Hello.
So this is another one of the amazing comedians that are coming here for the Timmins Comedy Festival.
Yeah, the weekend of April 21st and 22nd. If you don't have a ticket yet, shame on you. Derek Edwards, Elvira Kurt, and again, Janelle, you get to open up for both these superstars. Are you tickled pink? Looking forward to these 2 big acts. Do you follow these 2 comedians?
I have followed Elvira Kurt and Derek Edwards since I was a kid. I actually bootlegged a lot of their JFL specials back in the day.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's right.
Good to hear.
Mark watches a lot of bootleg, but I checked one out and it wasn't for this type of audience. So you got to watch what you download there, Kinsman.
It was VHS.
He was
On
the-
VHS,
Yeah.
The scary part, if you do find VHS now, kids will say, "Oh, look, it's the wedding tape."
Right.
Now, what part of the wedding are we watching here?
That's right. All right, get your mind clean
All
for
right.
a couple seconds here. So you've been doing stand up for about 4 years. So what happened 4 or so years ago that made you wanted to leap into the transition?
About 4 years ago, I was a security guard, and I also was going into college for massage therapy. So, in my second year of massage therapy, right about to go into my third, COVID happened. And a year before that, I just started comedy. So, when I was in college, if I can backtrack here, when I was in college, I realized, hey, I'm in college. I could do anything. What do I
Right.
really, really want to do? And
Then
I
you
was
see
like,
comedian.
yes, exactly. I wanted to be a stand-up comic. I wanted to make people laugh. And because it took me 10 years to get into college, I realized, oh, I could do anything. And I asked around. I went to a lot of comedy shows. How do I become a stand-up comedian? And a lovely lady who's now in Toronto, she's like, oh, you just join the Ottawa comedy community on Facebook, get an open mic, get your 6 minutes and start talking. And that's exactly what I did. And the rest is history. I'm now a full-time professional comic, I guess.
Wow,
Is it-
making people laugh.
Isn't that amazing?
That is
And
amazing.
And
In
obviously,
such a short time,
Well,
like
yeah, okay.
you're ripping up. Like I looked at your credentials. You know, it looks like if you didn't say that you started back in 2019, you're thinking 30 plus years in the
Oh,
business, which is
thank you.
pretty darn exciting and pretty a pretty good feather to stick in your cap.
Yeah, the pandemic did not stop me one bit. I
Wow.
switched to Zoom shows, whether they're cringy or not. But I went to Zoom and I just kept marketing myself, and I still kept at it because comedy you can't just stop and then start again. It's something that's continuous. You have to grease those wheels. You have to keep it going.
Yeah, keep
Right.
it going.
were you, being a stand-up comic is no easy thing for many different reasons, but the one I want to talk about is the first time you stepped on stage.
Huh.
That can be a pretty nerve-wracking experience because it's your first opportunity to let the public know about your humor. Walk us through what was going through your mind on your first set.
I envisioned going on stage for since I was 14 years old. So the second I moved that little curtain, I felt like I was at the Saint Denis Theater in Montreal. I just kind of like put myself there. I dissociated, if you will. And I went up there and I said every single joke that I practiced for like at least a month. And no one was laughing except for one person. One person was laughing, and then I started dating him.
There you go. You got himself a date for
that's
laughing.
it.
There
Yeah,
you go.
you got to
There-
take the positives when they pop up.
There's a tip for the singles out there
Yeah.
that if you're looking for some romance,
Yeah,
there's
just laugh at the comedian.
Then I found out he's also a comedian who laughs when people bomb.
Oh, okay, great. We heard that twist later on. Okay.
After we started dating, I'm like, hey, I needed that validation. But it was amazing. It was almost surreal. And you get a rush. And unlike heroin, you can get that rush every single time. So
Right.
it's like every time I go on stage, I get that feeling.
Right. And so within the last 4 years, that's a pretty it's a strong rise for a comedian, but everything that happens on the other 23 hours, it's the old cliche, like it is the hustle and bustle and grind and perfecting your skills and some letdowns and some celebrations. There's a lot that happens with the comedian, the 23 hours of the day that we don't see them.
Exactly. I just had a big show here in Ottawa at the Algonquin Commons Theatre, and I had to fill 500 seats. So
Oh.
for about 3 weeks, I was in my phone staring at it 15 hours a day, creating content, ads, promotions, selling tickets. And I got physically exhausted from just staring at my screen every single day. And then with that, I was also putting up proposals and invoices and contracts, all for my stand-up comedy show that I produce called Got Land Indigenous Comedy Show. So it's a lot of work, but it's all about this. It's all about the audience. Just making them laugh makes it all worth it.
That's it. That one guy that laughs at the front, it pushes you on to that next show, right?
Did he wind up sticking around, or?
Oh yeah, he's actually part of my Indigenous comedy show. Like we broke
nice.
up, but he's still a good guy.
It formed into a pretty good partnership. So tell us a little bit about your comedy and what folks can expect when you arrive in Timmins.
Oh, so when they expect me, it's gonna be expect the unexpected. I am quite different. Just one second, I'm a little parched. I have to drink my drink here. It's my fresh tap water from Clear Lake First Nation. You know what I mean?
Oh no!
What they're gonna expect is me tackling tough topics in the guise of humor, expressing solidarity through humor. I'm going to be mentioning stuff that you might be a little uncomfortable, but I'm going to make you uncomfortable and break that tension because I want you to laugh with us. So White Guilt was so 2019. You don't have to worry about a thing. We're all together on this. And this is what reconciliation is about, laughing together and not laughing at, because we're all going to be on the same team when I come up to Timmins.
I love your approach, and obviously everyone knows how crappy the world's been the last 3 or so years. A lot of people in a lot of desperate situations, a lot of anger and frustration. But I think that the benefit is, especially for comedy shows, is that people are ready to laugh, ready to hang out with their friends, ready to let loose. Have you noticed this demeanor at the comedy clubs? People are like really participating and really want to be involved and really want to laugh.
They're almost hungry for laughter. They have been stuck in their houses and they haven't had an outlet to express themselves. Some people say that laughter is like taking a 5K run because of all those muscles you need, and also the endorphins you release from laughing. And it's about time. We need to bring back laughter to Canada because the world did not end, so neither did comedy.
Right.
Now, what have you been working on leading up to the Timmins Comedy Festival? Now, you were a part of and are a part of CBC's Gems, the new wave of stand up. Is it season 2 that you're a part of? This is pretty amazing. Take us through that.
Okay, so I was brought on actually 2.5 years into comedy to New Wave of Stand Up of CBC Gem, episode 11, and I got to tell some resi jokes. I got to make a bunch of people in Vancouver laugh, and they're good laughers over there. It was a dream come true. It was my first broadcasted TV gig ever, so I was so nervous going on there, but I had to just memorize my set and just make them laugh. And I just kind of kept that optimism that everything's going to be fine. They're gonna get your jokes, because one of the things of being an Indigenous comedian is making sure that the rest of Canada understands what I'm saying, that it's not too much inside baseball, So we had a great time on there, and I look a little different. If you see my CBC Gem special, I kind of look like a mob boss from a casino.
I like it. Yeah,
big red jacket, looking like I'm Hugh Hefner, but that's how I get the aunties.
Awesome.
I get a lot of the references because my partner is Indigenous kids, but this is going to be great. I'm going to make sure Terry comes.
We got to watch it.
Yeah.
And you were saying, you were hoping that that series would be good, but a season 2 means season 1 was awesome. They loved it. They brought you back for season 2, and again, just looking at just for laughs, the new wave of stand up, the Arctic Comedy Festivals. You're hitting home runs wherever you go in such a short time, which is phenomenal.
Well, thank you. And I couldn't do it without my sponsor, Keepers of the Circle. Do you guys know about Keepers of the Circle in Kirkland Lake?
I've heard of them, but fill us in. Who are these amazing people?
So Keepers of the Circle is a pre-employment program that helps Indigenous women and peoples gain and retain meaningful employment. And I was part of their program in 2013 at Aboriginal Women in Mining, but now it's called the Triple C, Competence, Confidence, and Other one. It's triple C, confidence, and and culture. There
Okay.
we go.
There you go.
There we go. Yes,
Three
and
Cs.
yes, exactly. So all those three combined, and now I'm their entrepreneur because I have my own stand-up comedy show called Gotland Indigenous Comedy Show, which is a full business. So now
Yeah.
I'm sponsored with them, and they help Indigenous women all over Northern Ontario. So they will be at the Timmins Comedy Festival, and all the women that can come from the program are also going to be there. So it's going to be a
Wow.
mixture of everyone.
Isn't that awesome?
It is awesome. And again, her ties to
Amazing.
Kirkland Lake, so who knows Janelle? Type in the comments. Make sure you tell your friends Janelle's coming back.
You know what? The 3 C's remind us of a dilemma we had here, because this is KINZ and I'm KLOMP. So that's 2K. 2Ks, right? So we had another guy that wanted to come in.
Have a third one.
And his last name started with K too. So like I'm doing the math. 1K, okay. Second one, okay.
We get
Third,
pulled every
no,
night.
you're not hired. No, you're not. We can't.
That's it. We get yanked online.
Change that last name to a B or something.
Yeah,
like,
we got the
Use your
Kardashians
middle
here.
initial.
yeah, we got.
Yeah.
We're maxed out on K's in this company here. So we don't discriminate against anyone except if your last name's K, because it's not going to help.
Yeah, it doesn't help us moving forward.
Yeah.
I always say I like it when there's racists in the crowd because they laugh the hardest, and then I can pick them out the crowd. Dang.
You know them right away, right? Yeah, that's right.
And keep bugging at them and pushing at their buttons the entire show, and then you've just made a show within the show.
The racist is going, I told you, it's true, I told you.
They're like, you didn't listen to the whole joke.
Yeah.
That was just the
Can
first
you-
part of it.
Yeah, I like, so are you like at this point of your career, are you able to like when maybe at the beginning of your set and you hear the feedback to the jokes, are you able to read a crowd, and do you make adjustments?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the fact that you just said that is true. So when I'm on stage and I have some openers and I have some testers, and if those testers go south, I switch to crowd work right away because they don't
Okay.
want to hear about me, but they'd love to talk about themselves.
They do.
Yes.
And,
I look
and
for
the person sitting
Karen-
there loves to hear the person getting picked on next to them too, right?
Yes, that's it. Because
Yeah.
Karen has a problem with Becky, and someone's casserole is better than the other one. And and if you can find them in the crowd, it just like you find a new line, and then
Makes the night go
Right.
smoother.
Exactly.
I love how you have a plan B, because we've chatted. It's always a different perspective, because we chat with other comedians who like they have a scripted show, and what you get is what you get. And I love the fact that you have these what they call testers. It's great lingo. I'm going to use that. Testers, and then
The
you can
law
make
balls.
adjustments. Yeah,
Yeah.
super cool.
Seeing who's going to hit him out of the park, who's going to bunt it, who's going to hit it foul.
I want to see if
that's the way to
audience is
read the
cool.
crowd.
Yeah, I have to test to see if the audience is cool and they're on board. Because one of the things we know as comedians is if they're not in on the joke, they will not laugh. So that's also part of the work that we do on stage in real time.
Right. I think that's tremendous. And
is.
you gave like 4 baseball references for one example.
Well, baseball
excited
starts, you're excited. Jays
Well, yeah, but
start tomorrow.
I'm not saying first base, second base, third base, like every sentence here. We could talk about the Jays later. So at this point of your career, I assume because, we're so proud of your accomplishments, do you have other comedians, maybe, or aspiring comedians, or, people come up to you and say, hey, listen, I want to pursue a career in comedy. And if so, what do you tell them?
I'm their main one, number one go-to. I mentor every new comic that comes into Ottawa because I always remember where I started and I know how to play the game, if you will. So what I do is I sit them down, I tell them the fundamentals, and I also help mentor other comedians across Canada if they ever need any help. And they come to me and I tell them how open mics are run. And if they don't have an open mic in their town, how to create one, because it's quite easy. It's so easy to make and create open mic. And if you build it, they will come.
Yeah. Well, I agree. And that's really where it all starts. That's how it started for you.
Yes.
You have an open mic, an open opportunity. No one
She took the reins.
Well, no one's sitting there with a pot of gold, by the way, for these open mics. Like, this is on your own time, and you're really thrown into the wolves.
Exactly. And the
And
audience
trying
will
to get
let
a
you know.
paycheck being a comedian is probably tough when you're getting going, especially being a Canadian comedian, you know, compared to, you know, let's say down south. Because I was reading a comment online stating that you want to, your big dream is to perform for a stand-up crowd in New York City. Is that
Yes.
still on the top of the bucket list?
I dream big, and that's still on the top of the bucket list. I want to make the Cellar laugh. I want to make big crowds laugh in New York because there's a lot of progressives down there, or fake progressives. I know there's a lot of people there just willing to laugh, and they haven't seen someone like me. And I'd love to give them a taste of their brothers and sisters to the north. So like they might have a lot of Canadian comedians going there down there, but they haven't seen anyone such like myself or my Gotland comedians. Oh, wear a smog mask, Joanne said.
Smog mask. Yeah, that's right.
That'd be your opening joke, and you say Joanne from Timmins told me that one.
Well, my dream's to be in a Hallmark movie, so yours is a little more aspiring. But one day I'm going to be the guy that ruins the Christmas trees, you know,
You're gonna cut it wrong,
or the person that's just the friend with the shoulder to lean on. I think that's all I can.
That's it. He's in the friend zone of the Hallmark movie.
Without that hat on, you're going to be a snowball, eh?
Yeah, shiny snowball. It's like this red mark in my head right now because the hat's too tight.
See, he takes his hat off during a show. If you didn't know Klomp, you'd be picking on him the whole show. Wouldn't you?
Yeah. Hey, I love it though. Listen,
yeah.
I love when comedians come at me because then sometimes I steal their jokes
Eh?
and tell it on here. Right, Kinsman? Whatever you tell against me could be. There's
Well,
a lot
you
of
can't
bald
do that
guys
with
out
Janelle,
there.
though.
I would
Don't
never
be telling
take
Janelle jokes
I would-
after she's been here for the Timmins Comedy
I make an
Festival.
exception for Janelle. I always credit her.
I'm so done being your friend, your lover. I'm off the clock, call your mother. She's the only one who doesn't see the games you play. I'm so done, no, I ain't coming over. And no, I don't need closure. 'Cause baby, I'm so done. I'm so done. Baby, I'm so done. I bet you wanna know